92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
The guy on the phone today that wants to do a second date update was impressed by the girl that he wants us to call back today by how quickly she dropped to her knees.
What? That is not a way I want to.
To pray. He met her at church.
Why do you do that to me?
You guys are perverts. He met her at church. That's all I was trying to get at.
Sure, yeah.
Sean is his name, and he wants to call a girl named Lisa today. I guess he met her in church. Sean, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So that's what impressed you about Lisa, huh? Her praying abilities?
Yeah. She maybe not in that way, but yeah, church. It's a good place to meet people.
Yeah. So you met her at church. How did you approach her at church? Or did you wink at her during the service, throw a Bible at the back of her head? What'd you do?
Well, I've been going there for a while, and she started going, and she always sits in the same pew on the right-hand side, probably about 6 back, so... I've been watching her for a while, and I was like, it's time to make a move.
It almost sounds like you're stalking her at church with details like that.
Well, no,
Sean.
you do. I grew up in the church, and there's usually a couple hot girls, and you always know where they sit, and you kind of want to sit diagonal so you can stare at them while you're at church. Yeah,
I remember
it's not that weird, Sean.
Thank you.
So how did you approach her?
Well, it was the end of the service, and we're all leaving, and we're all standing in the foyer, and I just went up to her, and I was like, hey, I noticed you, and I had my eye on you, and I was wondering if you just wanted to go grab some coffee, just, nice and simple. That's what I said.
And you had never talked to her prior to that. This is the first time you guys had ever talked.
Yeah, exactly. You smile, you walk past people, but I never really, said anything to her, and she never really said anything. So, yeah, it was just kind of, just walked up to her and just said that.
Did you get the vibe she knew who you were, too?
A little bit. She, you said wink before. I didn't wink, but that smile, the way they look at you.
Yeah.
So you were definitely throwing her flirty glances and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Hey, she's cute.
All right. So obviously she said yes to coffee. How was that little date?
It was good. Listen, I did everything. It was raining that day, so I waited in the parking lot. She pulled up. I walked her from her car to the front door, and then opened the door for her, of course. And
That's sweet.
We sat down. I pulled out the chair, all that kind of stuff, and it went good. It went good.
That's really sweet. You sound like a man who's looking for a relationship. You want something more out of this date, I guess.
I really was looking for something. She seems great. She looks hot. In church. What more could you want, right?
How was the conversation?
It was good. We talked about this, we talked about that. One thing I like is, it's not just all, church talk. There's the real world, So we're talking about our jobs and what we like to do and that kind of stuff. And I bought us everything. I'm thinking I did everything right. I walked her back out. Rain kind of was away, but, I still had the umbrella. That way it could stay closed, you know what I'm saying? So I walked her back to the car, opened the door, gave her a kiss on the cheek. Of course, it's just first date, so no, tongue wrestling.
Right.
So gave her a kiss on the cheek and just closed the door, and she drove off.
And how many times have you tried to call her since?
Not every day, stalk 5-6 times a day, but, try in the morning, try at night. I've been trying, so.
And you haven't seen her at church or anything?
I don't know. I haven't been to church since, so I haven't had the opportunity to see if she's been there. So I'm not really sure. She just hasn't been returning my phone calls.
Okay. Is there anything that you can think of that would make her not want to call you back?
Well, there's just one thing that happened. She wanted to, it sounds really stupid. I don't know. It just keeps replaying in my mind. So she wanted something to drink, right? So she wanted orange juice. And I'm like, it's cold, it's raining, it's wet outside. Why would you get orange juice? So
Said that?
You questioned her orange juice choice?
Did you really tease her about it?
Well, I didn't think it was mean. I just went ahead and ordered her a hot chocolate. I was paying, so I was like, listen, it's cold outside.
So she wanted an orange juice. You said, no, you're getting hot chocolate?
Yeah, I did, I just don't understand why you would order orange juice on a cold, rainy day. It's wet outside, we're just stomping off our rain boots with all this water. I got my wet umbrella, and she, wants to get a wet, cold orange juice.
Yeah,
So
but that would come off as a little controlling.
I don't think so. It just didn't make sense to me. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe she didn't like that happened. I don't know.
Did she get her orange juice at all?
No, why would you get orange juice?
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
No orange juice for you.
And this was at the beginning of your date?
Yes.
Okay.
Right at the counter.
So, but all the conversation after that and everything else was fine?
It was cool. She was laughing. I was laughing. We had a great time. But I mean,
Okay.
the vibe was just a little weird standing there because, like, there were people behind us waiting, and we're back and forth about the OJ and the hot chocolate, and I'm just
Can
like,
I ask, did she drink the hot chocolate? Because I think that will be the telling sign.
she drank it.
Okay. Well, maybe she wasn't upset by it.
Well, the fact that it happened at the beginning of your date and then you had a decent conversation after would make me think that that's not the issue.
Look, it's not a perfect date. I can't say that it was a perfect date, but it definitely deserves a second date. I mean, I've had much worse happen than this, you know, tripping, falling, people not showing up. I mean, I think I deserve a second date.
Cool. Well, we're going to play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
All right.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
All right, if you're just tuning in for the second date update, Sean is on the phone. He met a girl named Lisa at church, and she's not calling him back after their first date. They went out for coffee, enjoyed some conversation, and he can't figure out why. The only thing that he can think of that might have turned her off a little bit was at the beginning of it when she ordered an orange juice at the coffee place, and he kind of gave her a hard time for that because it was wet and rainy and cold outside and said, why are you going to do that on a wet, rainy day? And then he ordered her a hot chocolate. But the date continued and it seemed to go fine, so I don't know if that's really the reason. We're about to get her on the phone and find out what went wrong. Sean, you have any last thoughts before we give her a call?
No, I mean, let's get to the bottom of this.
All right.
Okay. And you guys haven't worked out on how you're going to win her over with your words of romance.
Well, we'll see what she says first before I decide what to say to her, you know?
Oh, okay.
It could be something terrible. You're like, I don't ever want to talk to her again. Who cares? All right, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, get her on the phone, and get your second date update. Here we go, man.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Lisa, please?
this is Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Okay,
Have you ever listened?
maybe once.
Okay, cool. Well, it's nice to meet you, Lisa. The reason I'm calling you today is because we recently got an email about you from one of our listeners.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
You actually went out on a date with one of our listeners. His name is Sean, and you met him at church.
Oh,
That's not a good
You remember
response.
meeting Sean. You remember going out with Sean, obviously.
yeah. So he contacted the radio?
Yeah, it's a thing we do called the second date update. It's where if somebody goes on a date and gets blown off, they email us so we can get the person on the phone and ask why.
Wow.
Sean told us about your date, and he also says that you haven't been returning any of his phone calls. Do you mind talking to us for a second and telling us why you're not calling him back?
I didn't like him.
Well, that's pretty
Point blank.
simple.
All right. That's cool.
really-
Hey, that's a good reason for not calling somebody back. Is there a specific reason that you didn't like him? Because when you talked about your date, he said you guys seemed to have a good conversation and enjoy each other's company.
I mean, he was doing all right on the date. I mean, I have to give him credit. Like, it was raining, and he came to my car with his umbrella, and he walked us into the restaurant.
Yeah.
So, I compliment him. I told him, it's really refreshing to meet a guy who does all these things. I mean, you've been really polite and, going out of your way to be a gentleman. And then he's like, well, thank you. I feel as a man, it's my job to take care of my woman. And, the type of girl that I'm looking for, she just knows how to be subservient. He said the word subservient.
He actually said subservient to you.
I would have lost it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it was just over from there. He pretty much wants a woman who wants to be barefoot and pregnant all the time. And he said that he didn't want his wife to work. He basically wanted her to stay home and raise the children and cook all of his meals.
Oh, my God. I would have left right there. I can't believe you stayed through the date.
I mean, I was trying to hear him out. I thought, like, maybe I could reason with him, but he's just narrow-minded, and it was like trying to talk to a caveman. He's less than my mom. That's why I haven't called him back,
Yeah, I don't blame you. I just think that that's so weird that you would continue to be that nice. Not that you'd have to be rude, but...
I really just didn't want to make a scene it was just a coffee date, so I thought, just hold my tongue, and in 45 minutes this will be over, and I will never see this ass ever again.
Okay. Well, Lisa, what if I told you you'd at least have to talk to him one more time?
What do you mean?
I mean that he's actually on the other line listening.
He heard what I said?
Yes, he did.
Yes, I've been on the phone the whole time. Hey, Lisa.
Oh, God.
What? Okay, so tell me.
You heard
You didn't
what I
have fun? You didn't like
heard
it?
right?
You didn't have a good time?
Did you hear what I had to say, Sean?
Sweetie, listen. I heard it, but I know what you meant, okay?
You're trying to talk to me after what I said about you?
There's nothing wrong with a man taking care of a woman and taking care of her needs. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about,
Listen, that is not taking care of a woman and her needs. That is being controlling and condescending. And since you don't understand that, we don't need to see each other. We don't ever need to.
But here's the
communicate
thing.
Ever
What's
again.
wrong with me knowing what you need? I know what you need. I know what you want, so I'll give it to you.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
It's cold
Listen to
outside.
yourself.
Hot chocolate. That's what your body needs. I'm an old school guy, all right? Even if you don't know what you need, I know what you need because I'm tuned in. I'm paying attention.
Crazy. You are not
The
ready
issue
to
here is
anyone.
you're not playing your role. You don't know your place. Your place is to be a woman, and my place is to be a man. A man has a place
Goodbye,
too.
Sean.
It goes
Goodbye.
both ways.
Goodbye. Sean, I know what I want. I know what I need. And you cannot control everyone. You cannot control every situation. You don't even know me. You met me one time. One time, Sean.
Wow.
You cannot know
Okay.
what someone wants or needs in one time.
Honey, just calm down.
I'm not
Here's the
and
thing.
I don't need to calm down.
This is what I'm
you
saying.
need
Just
to get
take
help.
a breath. So you're telling me you don't like a gentleman? You don't like somebody opening the door for you or walking in the rain? I mean, you don't like somebody doing a man's job.
I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like what you're about. I don't like your ideas. I don't like your views. I don't like your opinions. I don't like you, Sean.
I don't think any woman listening right now likes you, Sean.
No. There's a lot of girls out there that want to be taken care of, okay?
Well, you
Trust
go
me.
find that girl. You go find that crazy ass. This is not me.
All right, well,
Amen.
Hey, listen, I don't have to listen to some feminist Nazi on the radio.
Wow. You are the one who reached out to me. Trust me, I would not have picked up the phone if it had been your number.
I'm going to ask the question anyway.
Oh, my
I feel
gosh.
like I know the answer, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Lisa, would you like to go out with Sean on a second date? Okay.
I love you, Lisa.
All right, Lisa.
I do.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you being honest with us.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Yeah. There you go, Sean.
God,
That's
Sean.
your answer, man.
Well, looks like somebody lost out, and I'm just going to go find
Yep,
another
there
one.
you go.
Listen, a lot of people want a real gentleman.
That's not a gentleman. A gentleman believes in things like gender equality and respect for women.
I don't know.
Oh,
So-
you guys are such a-holes.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.